Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a book that completely changed how I approach learning, especially when it comes to mastering English. Mindset: The New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck. If you've ever felt stuck, frustrated, or like you've hit a wall with your English studies, this video is for you. So what's this book all about? Dr. Dweck, a world-renowned psychologist from Stanford University, introduces a powerful idea: the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. It sounds simple, but understanding this concept can unlock your true potential. Let's start with the fixed mindset. Have you ever thought something like, "I'm just not good at grammar," or "My pronunciation will never be like a native speaker's"? That's the fixed mindset talking. It's the belief that our abilities, like intelligence or talent for languages, are static, unchangeable traits. People with a fixed mindset tend to avoid challenges because they're afraid of failure. Why? Because they see failure as a direct reflection of their limited ability. If they fail a test, it's not because they didn't study enough. It's because they're not smart. This fear of looking bad can be incredibly paralyzing when you're trying to learn a language. It stops you from speaking up in class, from trying new vocabulary, or from having a conversation with a native speaker. The risk of making a mistake feels too great. Now, let's talk about the game changer, the growth mindset. This is the belief that our abilities can be developed through dedication, hard work, and the right strategies. It's not about believing anyone can become Einstein overnight, but rather that everyone can get smarter and more skilled if they work at it. When it comes to learning English, this is everything. Someone with a growth mindset sees challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow. Making a mistake isn't a sign of failure. It's a valuable piece of feedback. It's a clue telling you what you need to work on next. Think about it in the context of English. You try to use a new phrasal verb in a sentence and get it wrong. The fixed mindset says, "See, I knew I couldn't do it. I'll just stick to the simple words I know." The growth mindset, however, says, "Okay, that didn't work. Let me check the dictionary, find more examples, and try again. This is how I learn." People with a growth mindset embrace the process. They understand that becoming fluent in English is a journey, not a destination you magically arrive at. They're the ones who ask questions, seek out feedback, and aren't afraid to sound a little silly at first, because they know every attempt is a step forward. Dweck's research is filled with fascinating studies showing how these mindsets affect us in real life. In one study, they gave students a set of puzzles. After the first easy round, they praised one group for their intelligence. "Wow, you must be really smart at this." And the other group for their effort. "Wow, you must have worked really hard." Guess what happened next? When offered a choice for the next task, the smart kids, the ones praised for their fixed ability, overwhelmingly chose an easier puzzle. They didn't want to risk their smart label. But the effort kids, the ones with a budding growth mindset, almost all chose a harder puzzle. They were excited by the challenge and the chance to learn something new. This translates directly to your English learning journey. Are you praising yourself for effort or for some innate talent? When you successfully have a conversation, do you think, "I'm a natural"? Or do you think, "All that practice with listening and vocabulary paid off"? The second one fosters a growth mindset and prepares you for the next bigger challenge. So how do we actively cultivate a growth mindset for learning English? The first step is just recognizing the voice of the fixed mindset in your head. When you hear that inner critic saying, "You'll never get this," or "Everyone else is learning faster than you," just notice it, acknowledge it, and then reframe it. Talk back to it with a growth mindset response. For example, instead of "I can't master verb tenses," try "I haven't mastered verb tenses yet." That one little word, "yet," is incredibly powerful. It implies that with time and effort, you will get there. It turns a dead end into an open road. Another key strategy is to focus on the process, not just the result. Don't just aim for fluency. That's a huge, vague goal that can feel overwhelming. Instead, set process-oriented goals. For example, this week, I will practice speaking for 15 minutes every day, or I will learn 5 new idioms and try to use them in writing. These are concrete actions you can take. When you achieve them, you build momentum and confidence, proving to yourself that your effort leads to progress. Celebrate the hard work you put in. Celebrate reading one more chapter of a book, watching a movie without subtitles, or having a 5-minute conversation. Embrace challenges. Actively look for things that are just a little bit outside your comfort zone. If you're comfortable with basic conversations, try discussing a more complex topic. If you're good at reading news articles, try reading a classic novel. The sweet spot for learning is right at the edge of your current ability. It should feel difficult, but not impossible. This is where real growth happens. And remember, mistakes are not just okay. They are essential. Every grammar mistake is a lesson. Every mispronounced word is a chance to improve your phonetics. Seek feedback from teachers or language partners and view it as a gift, not as criticism. Reading Mindset made me realize that my progress in English was undetermined by some hidden talent, but by my attitude towards the learning process itself. It gave me permission to be a beginner, to make mistakes, and to enjoy the challenge of getting better day by day. It taught me to see my brain not as a static object, but as a muscle that gets stronger with every workout. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Your belief about your ability to learn English is the single most important factor in your success. You have the power to choose a growth mindset. Choose to see challenges as opportunities, effort as the path to mastery, and mistakes as your most valuable teachers. This book is a must-read, not just for language learners, but for anyone who wants to grow and achieve their goals in any area of life. I highly recommend picking up a copy of Mindset by Carol S. Dweck. It might just be the key that unlocks your English learning potential. Thank you so much for watching today. What are your thoughts on the growth mindset? Have you noticed it in your own learning journey? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on books and language learning. See you in the next one.